Good afternoon all. Myself Ramshina Jabir. Today I am going to present about communication between Lightning Web Components. I will go through the slides and if you have any doubt, we can discuss at end of this session. Before that, about me, I am currently residing in Germany. I am a passionate Salesforce developer, mainly focusing on sales and service cloud. You can connect me on LinkedIn and Trailhead. These are the topics I am going to cover today. Communication types, child component to parent component communication, parent component to child component communication, and communicate between unrelated components. Now we can see what all are the communication types. As you all know, a Lightning app consists of multiple components. Component-based development allows us to reuse and it supports modularization. So what is communication from one component to another? Since we are using multiple components inside an app, we may need to pass data from one to another. This is the communication. That means we want to send something from one component to another component. Communication from one component to another varies by how they are related. This is a component and this is another component. Okay. If we are declaring a component inside a component, then the inner component will be the child component and the outer component will be the parent component. Basically, they are in a parent to child relationship. So if we want to pass data from here to here, we have to use a child to parent communication. So sending data from child to parent is different from sending data from parent to child, and sending data between unrelated components are entirely different. I am going to explain this in subsequent slides. Now we can see how the parent to child communication is happening. As I mentioned earlier, we have parent child relationship here. I will try to explain what is a parent, what is a child, and what is a parent to child relationship here. So why we are doing a parent to child relationship? That is a pretty important question. Suppose we have a list of items to display. We usually go for a parent to child relationship. Parent will be the list and child will be an individual element. In my example, we have a beer list as a parent and beer as the child. Here you can see this will be the parent component and each individual bear will be the child component. Okay, here I defined bear list as the parent component and bear tile as the child component. Okay, now we want to pass data from this parent component to child component. Here in my parent component, I have an apex class that is fetching all the bear details. Here you can see get all bears. This is the apex class. It is fetching all the bear details. And I am just imperatively calling that apex class using connected callback. On this connected callback, I am just calling load bears. On this load bears, we are getting all the bear details from this apex class. And I am just storing all the bear details inside the bears. And through these bears, I am iterating the bears through each individual bear and each individual bear is sending to the child component. Okay, when we want to send data from parent to child component, we have to use public property. So what is a public property? Public property means we can access data from outside of this component. So we want to send data from bare list to bare tile component, right? Then we have to declare a public property inside the child component. That is, so how we are declaring a public property is using an API decorator. Okay, that is at API bear. Here the bear will be the public property. After declaring it here, we can access the bear inside the parent component. So here we are passing bear as the each individual bear detail. Okay. Then on this child component, I'm just showing bare details using this bare data. Here, if you are going to the child component, you cannot see any data fetching from Apex or something like that. It is just showing the value from this public property. I will show my code here. Here, bare list is the parent component. Here, I have imported my Apex class here. The Apex class is, if we want to use Apex class inside an LWC, we have to declare using at Aura enabled. On this Apex class, I am just retrieving the bare details using a SOQL. Okay. On this JavaScript parent component, I'm just importing that Apex here, and from that Apex, I'm just storing the details of bear on the bears element. Okay. When we are coming to the HTML, we can see I'm iterating using template for each bears through each individual bear, and each individual bear is passing to the child component. This is how we are declaring the child component, that is C bear tile. Okay, and coming to the child component, here we have at API bear. That means the bear is the public property and it will access the data from the parent component, and I am just displaying it in the HTML and I am deploying it here. Here you can see each individual bear that details is showing. Here this one will be the parent component and each individual tile is the child component. Actually, there are three types of communication, three methods we can use communication from parent to child. That is, one is the public property. That is what I have shown with my example. And there are another two methods. One is using a public function and another one is using a public getter setter method. Hope it is clear for everyone. Now we can go next topic. Now we can see how the communication from child to parent component is happening. Let us use the same example here. There we were passing data from bare list to bare tile and that was a parent to child communication. Now we are doing some action in child component and the data is going to parent. Coming to my example, our child component, that is bare tile component, here I declared a click event. And during that click event, I want to pass the particular bear details to the parent component. Okay. So when we want to pass data from child to parent, we have to use custom event. To create a custom event, we can use a custom event constructor. Okay. And after creating a custom event, we have to dispatch it from that component itself. Now, when I'm clicking here, I want to pass a particular bear ID. So when I'm clicking here, I want to pass this bear's ID. When I'm clicking here, I want to pass this bear's ID. So when we want to pass data through a custom event, we have to set the detail property to that data. Here I want to send the particular bear ID. So I set the detail property to the particular bear ID. Now we want to retrieve this bear ID from the parent component. When we are coming to the parent component, we will have a event handler here. Handle bear view is the event handler. Here, what is happening inside this event handler is we have to receive the data using event.detail. Here on this bear ID, we will get the data sending from here. Okay, and I'm just querying to show the name of that particular bear. When I'm clicking here, this bear's name will be showing here. When I'm clicking here, it will update to this bear's name. Okay. So here, here I have defined a click event here. On click equal to handle open record click. What is happening inside this click event is I just created a custom event using custom event constructor and set the detail property to that particular bear ID and dispatched it using dispatch event. Now coming to the parent component, here we have the event handler handle bear view. We can what is happening inside that event handler is I'm just receiving the data using event.detail and just querying to show the name of that particular bear. Okay. When I am deploying it, you can see when I am clicking here, that particular bear's name will be showing here. When I am clicking this one, it will change. So this is how the communication from child to parent component is happening. Now, if you have noticed, when initially loading, you cannot see the name of that bear here, right? So that is happening because inside that parent component, here, when I'm showing that name, I just used template if true selected bear. That means this uh, this template will show only if that selected bear have data. Actually, this is called conditional rendering. Uh, so that is why during the initial loading, the selected bear will not have any data. Then you cannot see that there. And when we are clicking only, this one will show. Hope it is clear for everyone. Now we can look how the communication between unrelated components is happening. So what is communication from unrelated components? Suppose we have two components that is not related to each other. Here you can see this element and this element are not related. This element and this element are not related. Now we can pass data between any of these components. There is no need to be a relationship between both. So we can see how the communication is happening between unrelated components. Here I have a new component bear map. You can see there is no relationship between bear map and any of my previous two components. Now what I want to do is when I am clicking here, I will send this bear details to this component. How can I achieve this? Basically I have a click event here. Now I want, I'm already passing data from here to here, but this one already are in a relationship. But when I'm clicking here, we cannot send data like this one, okay, because these components are not in a relationship. So when we want to communicate between unrelated components, we have to create a lightning message channel. Okay, before that, I'm sending data from here, right? So when this component will be the publisher component and the receiving component will be the subscriber component. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I will create a lightning message channel and import this lightning message channel to the publisher component and the subscriber component as well. After creating the lightning message channel, we have to use a message context. Why we are using message context is to create a context object which provides information about the Lightning Web component that is using Lightning Message Service. Okay, so we will import this message context, both of this component, that is the publisher component and the subscriber component. Okay, after importing that message context, we have to wire it. You can see here. Now we have to publish the data from the beer tile component, right? Here the publish method have three parameters. First one is the message context that we wired earlier. And the second one, the lightning message channel that we created here. And the third one, the message we have to send. Here, I have set the message property as the bear details. Now, when I am clicking here, the message property will have this bear details. Okay, now we have to subscribe it from the bear map component. How it is happening is here also you can see I am importing a lightning message channel and message context and wiring it as well. After that, we have to subscribe. For subscribe, I am importing the subscribe method, and on that subscribe method also it has three parameters: the wired message context and the lightning message channel, and third one is the message that we are sending from here to here. Now we can utilize the message here. What I am doing here is I am just passing that message to this function. This function will retrieve the latitude and longitude of that particular bear that we are sending from here, and it will just show the location of that bear using map marker. Coming to my real time code. here on that click event, before that, here is my lightning message channel. After that, here I am just importing that lightning message channel here and importing message context and published method. After that, I'm wired that message context and set the message to the particular beer details and published using message context and lightning message channel, and that message I want to send. Now the beer map is that other component here. I am just subscribing here. Okay, here you can see I imported unsubscribe also. Why we are using unsubscribe is to set subscription to null. It will stop receiving message from lightning message service. Okay, after deploying it, this is the beer map component. Initially, it will not have data because I am not clicking anywhere. When I am clicking here, it will show the particular beer location. Okay, so when I am clicking here, it will change. You can see when I am clicking here, the data is passing here. That is from child to parent, and data is passing to here also. That is because the lightning message channel. Hope it is clear for everyone. I am done with my slides. Thank you again for listening. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask.